Wow, so passionate you are, and let's leverage your 15 years of experience now.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so let's move to the topic, and that is I want you to throw some light on the habits that are considered bad while communicating.
Hi,
Hello. Hello,
how are
Nimita
you?
ma'am. I'm
Hi,
great.
Rajni.
I'm doing great. How have you been?
I've been very well, just a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's about it, but I've been very well. Thank you for asking.
And how's your health now?
What's new? My health, I'm still improving. Actually, I have a very bad throat infection. So, and because the area where I live in, there's a lot of construction work that's happening. So, in general, there's sudden increase in the dust particles. So which has caused not just me, like my entire family is right now
Mm.
down with really bad throat, and even my toddler is down with bad throat. So yeah, so we are all on medication. So that's what. So today I'm feeling a little better, so I can have a conversation with you. In case I might cough in the middle, or might just need to take a pause, I'll let you know. But thank you
Sure,
for
sure.
asking.
I'm really glad to hear that now you are doing great. Okay. So after so long we are meeting again, I guess.
Yes, yes. After I think a month or so, we are catching up.
Hmm. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
how's your 2025 going?
My 2025 is going fabulous, Rajni. I think from work-wise, it's been very satisfying. We are seeing a lot of learners enjoying Sparky, and we will talk more about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think I am making more space because that was one of my resolutions that I want to make more time for personal development. So,
Mm-hmm.
and when I say personal development, it's not about doing some course or something, but just generally picking up, doing more things to enhance myself. So, for example, I've picked up art, I've picked up badminton.
Oh,
So, yeah, so some of the things that I had always wanted to do, but I'm using 2025 not to make any excuses, but actually do them.
yeah.
How about you? How's it going for you?
I must say, fantastic. It's going great. As you know, maybe I guess that I have achieved 100K subscribers over YouTube.
Oh, wow.
And
Congratulations.
thank you so much. So I have now big responsibility. So I'm enjoying the journey, I'm learning, and now I am also switching to enhance more and more in the same field where I can incorporate the storytelling, the way how we tell the stories, which I am lacking still in maybe. So I'll be focusing on that and the presentation part. So I can help people more and more, and I can provide quality content over YouTube. So it is going great. Everything is perfect.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
as
that's
planned.
awesome and all the best. Oh, great. I'm so glad to know that and all the best. And I'm so happy that we are having this conversation and how I can add quality to your content.
Yeah, likewise, I'm also looking forward to a great conversation with you. Okay, so today I have a very nice topic to discuss with you, which
Hmm.
I haven't yet discussed with anyone. And I must say that many people haven't touched this topic yet. And while this discussion, I'll get to know about myself too a lot, because this is kind of a thing I never thought of or searched anywhere, and I didn't even get videos to over YouTube. So I feel that you will be able to, you are the right person, not feel, you are the right person to help us in this, as you are so experienced.
Sure.
But before we jump into the topic, I want you to give your introduction so people can know you.
Sure, Rajni. Hi, everyone. I am Namita. I am co-founder and chief learning officer at Sparky AI. Sparky AI is a conversational AI buddy that you can just talk to. It's judgment free. It provides a stress-free environment for you to improve your English, spoken English. It gives you feedback. You can talk on topics of your choice or ask Sparky about anything. It's extremely knowledgeable and it adapts to your learning level and it meets you where you are. Prior to Sparky I have been an educator for now almost 15 years. I've taught in India, I've taught in the US, and so I've overall I've worked with close to 5 million learners across different geographies. And my primary focus has been in building English language fluency. English language specifically because I come from a very small town. And where I am today is primarily because of my ability to communicate across, like whether it's English, whether it's in writing and speaking, but language has played a very important role in where I am today. So hence I feel deeply passionate about it and love talking about it too.
Wow, so passionate you are. And let's leverage your 15 years of experience now.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So let's move to the topic, and that is I want you to throw some light on the habits that are considered bad while communicating.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we are picking up this topic, Rajni. That we always focus so much on the language that we don't remember that it's not just learning a language or acquiring that skill, but it's also about how we are conducting ourselves.
Mm,
Is also very important. It's like in the classroom, a teacher just having all the knowledge is not enough. They need to be taught on how to teach
yeah.
or how to actually deliver that knowledge. So same is the case with language. Just acquiring that language is not enough, but also knowing the right way or the right etiquettes of actually delivering it or holding a conversation in it is extremely important because otherwise nobody would want to talk to you if we don't have those etiquettes of communicating. So I'm so glad that we are picking it up, and um, we one of the first habits, something that we all end up doing, and I'm also guilty of doing it, is
Mhm.
interrupting. And especially in an online environment, ever since the world has moved online, there is lag, and there's so much that happens. It constantly feels like at times we are interrupting each other or cutting each other off. Um, so one of the big bad habit that we all have is interrupting. So not having the patience for someone else to finish what they're saying, cutting them off mid-sentence or trying to finish their sentence because we don't have the patience. But we need to understand that we can be on the other side too, where somebody's interrupting us and how do we feel about it? Because interruption, what it does is it does two things. A, it makes the other person feel less important. So
Mm,
they don't want to have a conversation with you. The second thing is what you have done to them is maybe they are struggling or maybe they are stammering or maybe they are gathering their thoughts and but you are
jumped.
yes.
I'm doing the same again.
And
Sorry. Yeah.
no, but that's okay. It happens.
Mm,
It's something that we end up doing. And of course,
mm,
and a lot of it has got to do with our patience. And so yeah, and it's very natural, and a lot depends upon the kind of relationship we have with the other person, how much liberty we take. But I'm talking right now about in a professional setting. There are ways of course, sometimes when somebody is taking too long to speak, what you could definitely do is you could actually interject, find a right moment. See, it's also important how you do this interruption. You can actually raise your hand
mm,
and just say, and pause for the person to actually ask you that question, like we used to do in classroom. Similarly, in a professional setting, also, even if like there is a reason why Zoom has a raise your hand sign.
mm,
um, so even in a meeting, just raise your hand and then wait for the speaker to actually ask you, okay, and then you can actually put your point forward.
mm.
But if you interrupt the speaker, it's extremely disrespectful. You'd disrupt that conversation. So that is one of the habits I would say is very wrong, and we all end up doing it.
Agree.
Um, so something that because I also wanted to talk a little bit about Sparky AI. So Sparky AI exactly does this. Like what it does is it doesn't interrupt, and it doesn't even allow you to interrupt Sparky. So it's already building that kind of an etiquette in you. So when Sparky initiates the conversation, you start any conversation, Sparky initiates it. You cannot talk till the time Sparky's completed its conversation, and Sparky will not talk till the time you have completed what you want to say. So it's
Mm,
automatically building. that patience in you, it's already building that etiquette in you. Even to give you feedback, it waits for you to complete your sentence and then give you feedback. Even in that, there is an option for you to choose if you want the feedback. So it's so non intrusive because it understands that whoever is conversing is not very well versed in the language. So I need to finish what I'm saying and then ask that question.
Mm.
Hi. What's your dream job, Leo?
My dream job is accounts receivable in healthcare industry.
That's a well-structured response, Leo. You're aiming high. What interests you about accounts receivable in the healthcare industry?
Because accounts receivable main job role is speaking English.
Yeah, I'm able to resonate with it now. That I often do it. But I feel in conversations, yes, as you mentioned, that in office meetings, in professional settings, it should be considered and you should be mindful of it. But at the same time, we are habitual of doing it. I have reduced it, but still I have this habit of, and sometimes what happens with the other person is, trying to figure out the word which the person can use, appropriate word, when I jump in and then I tell the word. So this is my habit, and maybe it is because of the training because of the training too. Like I train people now, beginners and intermediates. So when my students struggle, I tell them, and because of that, I picked the habit of telling. Like whenever I have conversation, the person is struggling to find the right word, then I jump in and then I speak in between, which I found that is not a very good habit. Hmm.
Yeah, because what will happen is a lot of times, especially because you're in a position of a trainer, they will take that as a learning that it's okay to do so.
Mm.
So, and this is something that I learned as a teacher when I used to work with different learners, and whatever I would do, I realize my students are becoming a reflection of me. So if I have increased my volume in the classroom setting, then their volumes will also go up. If I'm talking in a moderate level, they are at a moderate level. If I haven't prepared well, my class is going to be in a ruckus. If I have prepared well, then they will all be okay. So a lot of what I am doing, my learners, my students, my users are my reflection. So I think that's something that I always remembered. And so yeah, so being an educator, being a trainer, is it's a tall task that we have that we have ahead of us. And that's why we also understand that, as humans, there are certain biases, certain tendencies that we have. And hence sometimes these AI tutors are really helpful for you to, like Sparky AI, are really helpful for you to build your English language fluency because they're designed to be indefinitely patient with you.
Mm.
They are not, there are certain vices of humans that they don't have because they're programmed that way. They're designed
Mhm.
to build that patience in you while role modeling that patience to you.
That's really a great realization I got from you, that students will follow what we do in front of them.
Right, right,
Hmm.
right.
I would be mindful from now. Yeah.
Similarly, coming to the next thing, and in this day and age, it's being distracted while having a conversation. And I've caught myself doing this very often.
Hmm.
Maybe not in a professional setting, but even in a personal setting, like with my parents or when I'm talking to my spouse. I've started taking that like a lot of liberty. And being distracted means while I'm talking to you, imagine you're saying something to me, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, or trying to do something else. Even if my phone is in front of me, it's looking up, I am looking at notification while you're talking to me. That's being very disrespectful to the other person. It's distracting. You're not, it's basically telling the other person that I'm not present to this conversation. I have something which is more important in front of me than you. So that is another etiquette. And again, in this day and age, we all end up doing that. Just being very mindful of how you would feel. I think in a conversation, always put yourself on the other side. How would you feel if you are having a conversation and somebody's on the phone or trying to read a book and
Mm.
not paying full attention to what you're saying, or trying to watch television or looking outside or being distracted? So that's another etiquette that we must keep a check on, because in a conversation it's very important. If you are interested, if you're not interested in the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
or you're unable to contribute to it, it's absolutely okay to say that, you know what, right now is not a good time. Can
Mm-hmm.
we That's why we schedule meetings, that's why we schedule timings to have
Mm-hmm.
conversations. That I think this time would be a better time for us to talk. Let's talk then. So if you cannot be present in a conversation, then don't have that conversation.
Absolutely. I have experienced this too many a times when I talk to some people, then it's not like they are checking mobile phones, but there is some kind of distraction sometimes because of the family members. And sometimes they are looking here and there too, like they are not able to maintain the eye contact. But yes, they are learners, so maybe gradually they will pick. And sometimes I also do that, to be honest. Sometimes when there is something like I have to handle everything on my own, that is why sometimes it
Right.
happens with me that some urgent call if I receive or message, then I have to reply. And also, yes, great point.
Absolutely. So one of the things, Rajni, what I end up doing is, if I'm, say, because my son, he goes to school,
Hmm.
and during that time, I know that I need to look at my phone, even if I'm in a meeting. So before I enter that meeting, I actually tell people that, I may receive a call from, and this is to my team, or to any external meeting or anyone that I'm talking to. I just say that, my phone is right now is supposed to be on do not disturb, but it is programmed to give me a notification, or I can attend a call if it's coming from school. So I give that heads up that that's the only thing that will distract me right now.
Okay. That's a great way to deal with it, right? To tell
Yes.
them in beforehand that it can be it can happen in between if something is urgent there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think people appreciate honesty. And if we let them know beforehand that it's not about them. See, when you are distracted means that you're not interested in this conversation. People take it personally. So
Hmm.
if you just tell them that it's not about you, it's about me, it's something that I need to do, I need to take care of. So people are more mindful, and they feel comforted in some way.
Yeah, that's what
Similar,
I realized. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, no. Please complete your thought.
No, that's what I was saying, that I realize, like, yes, sometimes when there is something urgent we are doing, it seems like I also feel within that the person must be thinking that he is not valuable or he is not that much passionate enough, so I should pay attention or not. So that is why maybe I am watching the phone. But I didn't know that this is the right way to tell people beforehand, and then you can, yeah, like, pursue.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, these are all the, etiquettes. Another one is not actively listening. So now being distracted and not actively listening are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
Not actively listening means that, so for example, if you're talking to me, my focus is not on what you are saying, but my focus is on what I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to respond. So what is happening is I'm already not listening to your point, but I'm already building a response in my head. Now, I'll be honest, this happens a lot when I'm having a conversation with my husband. And,
Okay.
and if we are in an argument. So,
Mm-hmm.
so though sometimes the aim of the argument is to win. And so
Okay. Okay.
and this is absolutely unhealthy. Whoever is listening to this, not a healthy thing to do at all. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important to actively listen, focus on what the other person is saying, acknowledge their feelings or acknowledge their point. And then if you need to take a pause, you can always say that, give me a minute to respond to
Mm-hmm.
you. And then you
Absolutely.
can gather your thoughts and respond. You don't need to necessarily, it's not like fatafat. ऐसे conversation नहीं होता है. Conversation needs to be thoughtful. You may not, you
Mm.
should, you don't, you're not expected to always have an answer. Be it a personal setting, be it a professional setting. So many times in a meeting, I've actually said that I hear you. I think I need some time to process it. Can you give me, like, depending upon the importance of
Mhm.
the conversation, I can say, give me a couple of minutes to think and come back, or give me till end of the day to come back, or give me 30
Mhm.
minutes and I'll respond on email, or we will talk after 30 minutes. Like, it's always okay to do that, but very important to focus on what that person is saying at that moment.
Mhm. I
And
totally
that's
agree.
another thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's exactly what even Sparky AI does. So, because it's designed to listen to you, it's designed to hear 100% of what you're saying. And what it does is it not only listens to you, it acknowledges what you have said, and
Mhm.
then it builds on it. So, it's actively listening. Active listening is also understanding your point of view and building on it, adding some value to it.
Yeah. Sometimes people ask me, like, you keep writing while listening to person. Like, this is, I don't know from where I naturally picked the habit of writing, because I don't want to miss anything. If I'll keep what I have to say after this, then I'll be not listening his point, him attentively. That is why whatever I pick, which I should be taking care of later, then I just write down, so I can pay a little more attention what the person is explaining. That habit I have. I don't know it is right or wrong, but I feel it was good for me, because I can also participate in the conversation. At the same time, I can listen to the person. I don't bother to remember, oh, I have to say this. No, I don't bother my mind. Instead, I just take notes, and then later I can, in like after listening to the person carefully, then I can jump and I can continue the conversation. That's what I do. I don't know whether it is
Right.
wrong or right.
No, I think if you feel that the other person has not felt offended, or if you are able to, if that's what is helping you take the conversation forward, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's those practices are okay. Even I, what time at times what I do is, especially while I'm taking interview, people
Mm-hmm.
will notice me either typing or I'm writing. I again give a heads up to the people that, you know what, in this conversation, you will see me typing or you will see me writing. It is only to take notes, but I am completely attentive to you. And this is what a lot of times when I have been interviewed, people have told me as well that, you know, if
Mm-hmm.
you see me writing or if you see me typing, I am being attentive. It is just for me to, you know, remember or write down a point which I may want to revisit later.
Okay, so that's right to do. I didn't know, but I just picked it naturally in order to. Yes,
Very
while
good.
writing, also, I keep listening to the person, so I can make a proper note and then I can
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only addition that you could do is like just communicating that. And I think that's what you already do, just letting them know that, you know, this is
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. Um, so that is another etiquette to keep in mind, active listening.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is changing the topic abruptly. Like we are talking about something and then suddenly you change the topic. Oh, by the way, this. You haven't concluded on a topic and or you know actually leading to a conclusion on it, or or if not able to reach a conclusion, then putting a proper pause to it. So for example, in a professional setting, you're discussing about a problem, you're unable to arrive at what to do with it, but you have like three problems to discuss. You're unable to find what is the right answer for the first one, and you want to move on to the second one. But before you move on to the second one, create an action plan for the first, that okay, we are unable to find a solution for it right now, can we revisit it tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
And here are the three things to keep in mind while we are thinking about its solution. Now, let's move on to the second problem. It's very important to drive closure to a topic before moving to another one. That's exactly, again, what Sparky AI is designed to do. What it does is when you are communicating with it, it will close out. So there's a certain theme. Say, for example, you're talking about there's a job interview. You're preparing for job interview. What it would do is it would ensure that the conversation has ended. It will exchange pleasantries with you and it would say all the best for your interview, and you know, if you want to practice again, go through this module again,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will give you option to move to the next conversation. So it's not just abruptly changing the topic for you, it is actually moving the concluding the topic with an opener for you to retry or practice
Mm-hmm.
more.
Okay, so this is, we can say, kind of a skill that we have to master. It is not like naturally you will pick. You have to do the practice again and again, where you can practice it with Sparky, and then you will be
Yes.
able to focus on it, like concluding first topic, and then you are moving forward to the next one.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with a choice of doing the same topic again, because it's generative AI, it adapts. It will, the next time you have the conversation, it's a brand new conversation based on your input again. Because our inputs might not be the same. Our
Mm-hmm.
inputs keep upgrading, keep changing, and the conversation automatically adapts to what you are saying. And Sparky will keep building, adding details to it, keep giving you feedback on what you have said and how you have said it.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't know how to, give the constructive, proper the conclusion, then you can ask itself, and then you can
Yes,
practice it later before joining
absolutely.
actual people or before joining any interview. Then you can just master that from there, and then you can proceed with it.
Right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice. Sometimes we don't want to do the same thing again,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to revisit it later. So you always have a choice to go back to that conversation later as well.
Great. So, yes, Nimita ma'am, thank you so much for sharing these four things you brought in the session. It was really remarkable. I wasn't aware of these things, to be honest. Even I have been talking to people, many people, for 2 years now, but nobody talked about this and nobody suggested me the things which I should be very careful while talking to people. So I'm really grateful and thankful that you brought this topic and you shared the based on your own, I think, experience. You have observed people thoroughly in the social settings, in the professional settings, and that's how you helped us now. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for letting us know about this Sparky application too, which can really help people out there. They can, even build the patience level too with Sparky while practicing English and while practicing communication skill. They are able to find, build patience, and they are able to find the right and constructive way of answering. That's really great. And
Absolutely.
it's always nice talking to you. I feel thrilled after talking to you.
Likewise, Rajni, absolutely. I always, I think the topics that you pick are fabulous. It makes me also think. And I keep thinking about what else can we do in Sparky AI and make it
Mm-hmm.
more and more beneficial, not just from a language acquisition point of view, like acquiring a language, but also on how to use it effectively. So this topic was very interesting because it actually helps in effective use of that language.
So it means you are really focusing on if the Sparky can help people, in personal growth too, in mastering some
Absolutely.
other skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. And those are somehow built very naturally into the flow of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so would you mind mentioning about the price and all too, so people would find it
Sure.
easier? Yeah.
Absolutely. So Sparky AI is extremely affordable. At If you take a 3 month pack, 3 month pack is for around less than 100 rupees, around 100 rupees a month, and 6 month pack is also around the same value. If
Mm-hmm.
you take a 1 month pack, that's around 249 rupees a month. So I would highly encourage people to take either a 3 month or a 6 month pack. We have also seen that our users who use Sparky 3 to 4 times a week for, say, 15-20 minutes each time. So you can say for about an hour a week. We see that within just 3 months, their vocabulary improves by 200 to 300%. They make 30 to 40% less grammar mistakes, and overall, they just talked. They're speaking longer sentences in English. They're feeling more confident, and this is based on our conversation with our learners that they really feel confident in professional settings, especially in professional settings, in communicating more actively in English and are not bothered by making mistakes.
That's really fantastic. And people who are interested and who want to give it a try, you will get the link in the description box itself. Check it out from there, download the application, use it, and let us know in the comment box.
Yes. And some amount of time, like the first 20-25 minutes of the app are free. So you can also
Okay.
try it for free.
Mhm.
Have a couple of conversations with Sparky AI for free.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. Then we can wind up the session right here. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for the insightful session.
Thank you, Rajni. Have a great day. See you.
Yeah, you too. Have a great evening ahead. Bye
Bye.
bye.